who's supposed to rank you?
The men are supposed to rank us. That's how it's supposed to be. If you want to get a man, that's how it works. Like, men rank us. Like, I'm a very traditional woman. The man is supposed to choose you, just like a man is supposed to be the one to get down on his knee. The man chooses the woman. The woman does not choose the man. Okay. And a lot of women can't accept that.
Okay, so you mentioned that you were engaged. You're divorced now?
Yeah, I just just got divorced.
And 2 kids?
I have 2 daughters. Yep.
And you're 30. How old again?
37.
You plan on remarrying?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay. How are you? I'm always curious when women are like. I always say that so many of our women are like the engagement queens. How do you land 4 engagements?
I don't know. I don't know. I hear women talk about they want to get married, they want this and they want that, and look at them. I'm like, I just want happiness. So I can't honestly tell you. Happiness. I just want happiness, stability, and peace.
Okay, but happiness, is marriage about happiness?
Marriage is about respect and love. To me, marriage is about looking at the person next to you, deciding that you. To me, marriage is respect. You decide that you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna come back because I'm hearing the talking points, but there's my spidey senses are going on. 4 engagements and $2. Yeah, I got questions. Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
How old are you?
33.
33. What is it that women don't like about men's rankings or opinions?
I think women are afraid of the truth.
Afraid?
Yes.
Your internet is kind of sketchy right now.
Oh.
Maybe it was me. Okay, women are afraid of the truth. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm curious, because I grew up around all women, and I would see women openly lying to themselves, kicking the scale up under the counter, cutting the tags out of clothes. Y'all know what you look like. Do y'all really expect us to act like we don't see what we see?
I think a lot of women live in like a delusion of, you're always told that think highly of yourself. You never let anyone tell you that you're less than or that you're not pretty. And so that's what they expect.
That's fine to have good self-esteem, but there's only one valedictorian. There's only one winner. What women aren't doing is they're not told how to compete.
True.
This is why I hope so many, I don't know what's going on. We got 5 bars here. This is why so many women today are not able to sustain relationships. Okay. Check the Wi-Fi here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you single or married or what, ma'am? 33?
Engaged.
Okay. First engagement?
You can say that. First engagement with a ring, yeah.
How long? You said you've been out. You said what'd you say? You've been engaged for how
long? Engaged for 2 years.
Okay. What's the holdup?
The holdup was me.
Okay.
We got engaged pretty quickly in a sense. We were together 8 months.
2 years?
Well, we were together 8 months before we got engaged, or when we got engaged.
Okay.
And so at that time was the time when I decided, okay, we can move in together.
So let me ask, okay, you're taking a long time. Do you women seem to act, I seem to move like men are never going to run out.
They are.
Okay.
I mean, I have a date now.
Okay, good. So when you were saying you want to be happy, man, okay. You have 2 daughters though, right?
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I have 2 daughters.
Are you raising your daughters to be wives, or are you raising your daughters to be independent women?
Both.
No, you can't be both.
I raised my daughter to be.
You can't be both. You can't be both.
I'm raising my daughter to be wives. Okay. But also understand the importance of manifesting what you want and being able to
There's
support
no such thing as manifest. No. Manifest is.
I'm raising my daughters to be wives. Yes, I'm raising my daughters to be wives.
See, manifest is a dirty word over here. I call it bullshit. You don't manifest anything. You don't manifest straight A's. You work for straight A's. What are you raising? So I'm curious, because I don't know, but I'm going to ask, as a woman who wants to be happy, I don't know why you're divorced, and you're engaged 4 times. That's intriguing. But what are you raising your daughters to do for a man? What are you teaching your daughters that they're supposed to do for a man?
Honestly, I mean, they don't know yet. Balls empty, stomach full.
Do what?
Balls empty, stomach full.
So fucking cook.
No. To serve, nope, to not, no, serve a man. Like, to serve a man, that's honestly, it's hard to explain, but like, I was raised, like, that's how my mom was. To serve the man. Let the man be the man, let him lead. That's what I'm raising my daughters to do. I mean, that might be wrong, but that's how I was always
It's insufficient.
Huh?
It's insufficient.
It's insufficient?
Very much so.
How is it insufficient?
That only deals with a man's primal needs. A wife's #1 goal is to manage her husband's ego. That ain't got nothing to do with his stomach or his balls first.
So, I understand. No, I respect that. No, I understand that. What I'm saying, it's a whole package. It's not just like, it's not literally just balls.
What I'm trying to ask you, because women want to hear from women who've been married, who are older, and I need you ladies to understand that you don't really give younger women any information. I mean, and I'm trying to imagine you talking to your daughters, and I have a daughter. Hey, what you do for your husband? Keep his balls empty and his stomach full. All right, go get married. That is insufficient. But if I ask you how you teaching your daughters to survive, I bet you would talk for an hour.
I teach them to edify, to edify the man.
Okay, that's fine. And do you think women learn by watching or hearing?
I think actions speak louder than words, so watching.
So how are your daughters seeing their mother do these things that she's saying that they should do?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
How are your daughters seeing their mother do these things that she says that they should do?
In my actions.
But you're unmarried.
But that was my choice. I could have still been married. That was my choice. Because I just said I was in an abusive relationship. So do I stay in an abusive relationship or do I leave?
Well, I'm going to ask questions. So if you want to go down that path.
No, I was just saying. I mean, no, okay.
Were there police reports involved?
Huh?
Were there police reports involved?
Yes, actually, I'm a police officer myself. So that's why, yes. I'm in law enforcement myself. So I definitely had to get out of that. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Today's women aren't teaching their daughters enough. Balls empty, stomach full, that's very primitive. Women are to be a man's inspiration. You're supposed to understand my ego. Before you know what my stomach needs, you need to know what my ego eats. And one of the biggest disconnects is we know y'all far more than y'all know us. So when relationships, the communication falls apart, it's because you ladies in general lack the communication skills to talk to us. We understand how to talk to y'all because we're raised by a bunch of women. This is why there's such a big disconnect. So when a man hears a woman that was engaged 4 times, he's like, how did it happen? Because I was like, why did it take so many different times and then you were engaged 4 times and you married once? That's like 5 different engagements or 4? 5 or 4 engagements.
So 3 and I got married the 4th time. So 4 engagements.
All right. So at age 55, what does life look like for you socially? Your kids are out of the house. Socially, what does life look like for you?
Well, I do want to have a life partner. Whether marriage is my ultimate goal, because to me, marriage is a vow, it's a piece of paper. But like, even if I decide commitment with the same person, it's a vow before the Lord. It's a piece of paper for the court. 55 years old, I do want to be in a committed relationship with someone. I want to have a life partner. By then, I plan on hopefully being with a life partner. I don't want to be a woman who's 55 years old just taking care of my grandkids.
Modern womanist. So this is my biggest concern when we have modern women womanist, feminist, this manifesting life partner. This is what's destroyed the Black community.
Mhm.
Life partners. What the hell does that mean? So when my spidey senses were going off and I asked, what do you teach your daughters? I'm going to say that you're going to raise your daughters to be like you. Men are a selectable option.
You said a selectable option?
Yeah, man, 4 engagements? That don't make no sense. 4 engagements? I'm not gonna get into the divorce because I'd have to ask some questions. And but then you say at 55 you want to have a life partner, and I'm like, my question is, you gonna have your $2.4 million that you need to retire on?
Yes, I will.
At 65. All right, good. So one of the biggest issues I think in our community is women aren't taught that they need to meet our standards. You're taught that we need to meet your standards. This is when you hear all this manifestation, happiness, vision, partner, and it's bull crap to us men. This is why you start to see non-Black women invading into this space to pick off the Black men, because the number one reason why men cheat on their women is not sex. You know what men is looking for? Anybody want to guess?
Them.
Huh?
Someone to listen to them.
Okay, what do you think?
Connection.
It's ego. Someone to make them feel like they're the most important man in the world.
No, they're looking for femininity.
For that divine femininity. That's very true.
No, not divine feminine, femininity. So if I were to ask you women, from the top up, who is your ideal Black feminine role model? Who would you say you would aspire to be like?
Oh, geez.
We said Topo. No, sorry.
Yeah, you can go.
Me?
Yeah, you go first.
Oh, I would say honestly, it would be a cross between like Lena.
Only
Horne.
one person.
Me?
Only one person.
Oh, I really like Lena Horne.
Who?
Lena Horne.
Lena Horne. Go ahead, man. Next.
I'll just say I don't really have a person, because unfortunately it's hard to say that there's not many that I can pull from. So
Okay. You gotta have, what about you, man? Top.
There's so many, but I feel like I'm more so inspired to be like the women that weren't around me, or the women that.
One woman that we would all know.
I would say Dorothy.
Who?
Dorothy Dandruff.
Okay. And you don't have any idea.
Michelle Obama.
All right. Lena Horne, what do you know about Lena Horne's life?
She was like, it's weird to say that. She was very feminine. She was She was artsy. She was beautiful. She was very classy. She was to me, she was a lady. And I just always just learning.
Would Lena Horne have been a police officer?
Hmm?
Would Lena Horne have been a law enforcement officer?
Probably not. So
A masculine profession.
I can tell you why I did that. I actually I'm a chemical engineer, master's of chemical
Okay,
engineering.
okay, here's one of the problems today. When I ask women in general, Black women in particular, for a feminine ideal role model, invariably you give me somebody who's beautiful but not really feminine.
Lena Horne's not feminine.
I'm gonna be honest, ma'am. I don't know if I believe most of the stuff coming out of your mouth, because I'm reading very masculine energy from the rip. So Lena Horne is a beautiful woman, but your life is reading extremely masculine. Balls empty, stomach full, life partner, manifestation, engagement multiple times. You're a law enforcement officer. Lena Horne ain't none. The image of Lena Horne ain't none of that. None of that. And that's okay, because the issue is that you're 37, right? Generation X and baby boomers did not teach the knowledge that they gained from the previous generations and didn't teach you guys. So you guys are all trying to make it up. So it doesn't surprise me that I talk to you and say we were we were together 8 months before we got engaged, and it took me 2 years. You're terrified about fucking up.
Absolutely.
Because you don't have a feminine role model. You don't have something to aspire to. And in places where you don't want to talk about, you're not confident that you're the woman you need to be to go 30, 40, 50 years into marriage.
1,000%.
So when I ask women, what do you need to do? I get basic shit like balls empty, stomach full. And it's like, trog, eat meat. I'm like, there's more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
And our young girls are being taught that men are simple. And we are simple, but our ego. And the one thing that men do not tolerate, high value across the board, is masculinity in women. And I'm starting to see that more of our women, they're not doing it on purpose, but they're masculine things that pop up from time to time. Because I'm gonna tell you, ladies, something. I'm gonna switch the panel. Any decisions that you make in fear, scarcity, or lack ultimately end up in anxiety and stress. Those are all wrong-headed decisions, and they put you in the defensive survival masculine hunting.
Yeah.
The thing about being with the man is a man in general gives a woman options, and a man of value gives a woman freedom. Mm-hmm. Single women are not free. You're bound. You're bound to your jobs. You're bound to your bills. You're bound. Your husband is the most oppressive husband ever, the state. So I'm saying, if you got a daughter, I would encourage you to teach your daughter to prize femininity so they can attract masculine provider males and not life partners and all this other kind of stuff. Because masculine provider males don't play that life partner manifest. They'll just keep their mouth closed and go pick the girl out of the secretarial pool or something. And you'll be like, well, I got a PhD in that. Barista at Starbucks, as long as she's feminine. Any questions before we wrap up, though?
So my question is,
go ahead.
So more feminine, for more feminine energy, maybe I can be engaged a fifth time. I'm just asking, like, I'm sorry, it was a joke, but like, so more feminine energy on my part. Is it because of my career, or like, is it because my, like, I just want to know, because I'm always looking
your
for
career. Your career is one of the 7 careers that men of value avoid.
What'd you say?
Your career path is one of the career paths that men of value avoid. Law, psychology, law enforcement. All of those are red fucking flags. Men with any sense and value run.
Why?
Because you don't have a dick. It's a masculine profession. It requires you to be in your masculine energy. Mm-hmm. Man, you orders. You got law enforcement. You have the power of the state.
Can I say one thing real quick? No. So that's been my issue. I tell men all the time, I don't want to go to work and have to bark orders. I want to come home and be submissive. That's always been my thing. I want to be able to come home and be submissive.
Right.
Can I?
But you're not. You come home and probably, if I interviewed the men you dated, and are married, they would tell me, being with you is blank. Fill in the word.
You want me to fill in the word?
Hmm? Being with you is blank.
I've always heard easy.
What was your question, Sarah?
Oh, I was going to say that the reason why, and I'll just give you a different perspective, is because I was watching this podcast about this, and it was actually really interesting how our work relationship trickles into our intimate relationships. So we have to be mindful on our career paths, because we do have to, as women, sometimes when you're working in that field, you have to embody a more masculine energy. Yep. And so what I noticed with men and with women, sometimes you're not at work, that work energy off. You don't know how to turn off that masculine energy.
Have you ever noticed why so many men, as you move up higher, tend to marry women who worked in some sort of restaurant, hospitality,
something of service,
retail, because those women know how to serve, know how to be pleasant. And then I have archetypes that I talk about, the averagers. And I've done a podcast right here talking about the attorney and the realtor. The attorney is superior between the attorney and the doctor. They are the two most difficult ones to deal with. But right under them, that's the law enforcement shit.
Seriously? Where is this written? I need to read that book.
I've been talking about it for years. I'm just saying that, okay, so being with you is easy. I have never heard a man be with a law enforcement officer where it's easy. But I get, okay.
I was also raised by men just like you, though. That's the crazy thing. That's why.
But what your mama raised you to do for a man?
What'd you say?
What your mother raised you to do for a man?
My mom raised me to serve a man. My mom and dad have been married for 45 years. My mom literally raised me and my sister to serve men. When we were younger, my mom would make us make our brother's plates.
Is your sister married?
Yes. My mom would make us make our brother's plates.
I'm telling you what throws everything off, man. The multiple engagements. See, if you would have told me if you would have said that don't make any sense. Women who are really feminine don't do multiple engagements. They get married young and they stay. And there may be issues in the marriage, trouble in the marriage. I'm not going to go into it. You said there's abuse. I normally have a lot of questions that I would ask. If the law was involved, do the kids see their father regularly, or is he?
Yeah. He's a great father. I have nothing negative to say about him. He just wasn't for me. He's a great father.
Okay, was he put in jail behind this?
Huh?
Was he put in jail behind you guys all?
No. It wasn't.
Was it mutual combat?
It wasn't physical abuse. I went. My father and the men in my family.
Okay, it wasn't physical abuse. So verbal.
That other types.
I'm gonna be honest, man.
Financial, emotional.
This, but I'm sorry. Women.
It's okay. It's a very.
Women get just as good as they get. I'm telling you. I don't believe all women, and I've done this show for too long, and I'll eventually get to it. Mm-hmm. But the ultimate point of being 4 times engaged, and I was raised to. Does that make sense to any of y'all? I mean, no offense, it don't make sense that you.
It doesn't have to make sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. Stop. Be quiet. I didn't ask you.
Okay.
See, that's the masculine in you wanting to defend and fight. I just asked these 2 women, and you went to shut them up, officer.
Sorry.
I'm serious though. It doesn't make sense. You came in, the first thing I said is I'm gonna tell you, the first thing I said is I asked you a question. And what you do, you said, fuck that. Let me give you some background. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't ask you for all that. Did I? But I let you rock because I'm like, I'm gonna get to it eventually. Go back and play this again. You'll notice the difference between how you are coming across versus the other 2 ladies. They are far more reserved. You are all up in it. Put your dick up, ma'am. Put your dick up. I say this often. Masculine energy, manifestation, partners, this, that. I'm balls empty, stomach full. So many of our women are lost because femininity has been removed, not taught, and certainly not emphasized. Women have been told that men they're good to have, but can you honestly say, officer, that you were raised to believe that a man was absolutely necessary in life?
Yes, on everything. Yes, 100%.
Okay, women who really live that way don't want partners. They want husbands because they require vertical orientation, hierarchy, and leadership. Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't want to talk to you. So because you asked me earlier if I would get married again. So that was why my response was that, because I said, I'm not sure about marriage. So when I think about marriage, I think like when you think about marriage, you think about the same person for the rest of your life. To me, that's a partner. So to answer your question, yes, I would get married. Right now, today, I'm not sure, but I just want to make sure if I get married again, this is the person I spend the rest of my life. Yes, I'm a Christian. Yes. That's why I said I'm very, like, the person I spend my life. I know. Yes.
You're a Christian?
Yes.
Where is partnership anywhere in the Bible regarding marriage? I don't care what you say it is to you. It is a vertical relationship. Jesus Christ ain't my partner. What did I tell you? I got a video right now on Instagram that you need to go watch it. Please do. You know what it said? You know what it said? I'm going to tell you exactly what it said. We ain't partners. We ain't partners. You know what I mean when I say that? We're not partners.
So the man and the woman.
Never heard of that concept.
The man is a leader.
But you saying to me, a marriage is this, to me, to me, to me, to me, to me, to me.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I think I chose my words wrong. Not partner. Let me take. I want to take partner back.
Like, because you're strong and travel and this and that, and y'all unprotected. And you're always complaining you're so unprotected. You're unprotected because you cannot work under us. You don't trust us to lead you. But you'll go spend your money in that institution, get that degree. You'll go spend money over here. You'll trust the job, but you don't trust the one thing that's always been your protection, your man. Every other race of women, when the chips are down, lines up with their men. Black women, you get away from it. Until we start having these conversations about the right man, the right man is the one that looks like you with a nose as big as yours, the one that takes sit your ass down. We ain't partners. You belong to me. The kids belong to you. I belong to God. We report up. Get in line or get the fuck out.
They don't want to have
I have nothing to say. You're right. I mean, that's why I said partner was the right. I threw myself off a partner. You're one. Like that's what I'm saying. I have nothing to say, sir. You are right, Mr. Sir.
What were you saying now?
Oh, I was just saying that I spoke about this openly on Facebook about how, you know, especially young women in our community, how they decide to have children out of wedlock, mm-hmm. and how it decreases their value. And oh my gosh, the single woman came out, they were mad. And what I realized through observation, because I'm doing research on this, is that it was our young Black women that had a problem with it. And it's so if we can't tell our Black women anything, who can tell us? Who can tell us? And so what I realize is they're just not ready to have this conversation.
Well, here's the thing. If you're mine, I'm not yours. You belong to me. Every other group of men can exercise ownership of their women. Black women expect Black men to be second-class citizens. I'm not even supposed to rank you. I'm supposed to tell you everything you want to hear, or I'm supposed to shut the fuck up. No, to the point to where our women are out of order. You can't even tell anybody anything. Look, where the next group of wives coming for the young men who are being raised a certain way. Y'all can't even say anything. If you saw some young girls out of order, you couldn't say anything to them for fear their mama would act crazy. The women are more out of control. The women, and if you ever noticed it, women are becoming more violent too. Verbally violent, physically violent. Are you, law officer, are you not seeing these?
Oh no, I see it all. It makes me very, I see that all the time.
But is that natural? And it's not natural for women to be that aggressive. And men can't do anything. If anything's gonna get straight, y'all have to check them. If you want anything different, y'all gonna have to check them. Just like you want, we're the Black men who can protect the bills, such and so forth. Let us check this other dude. Let us sort it out. But y'all have to check them. And then you're gonna have to end up getting in order, because here's what's gonna happen. If the women can't be told anything, nobody can say nothing to them, the men are going to vote with their absence. They're going to go with somebody else. And then you'll start to see, just like we just had the Great Resignation, 25 million jobs quit in 2 months. Women left the workforce in massive numbers in Q4. You know who didn't? Men. If this continues, the she session, all that, you're going to see men still working and an overwhelming amount of unmarried women. Who's the largest group of unmarried women in this country?
Black women.
Black women.
So be prepared to be the workhorse right along with the men. Then you have nobody else to blame, because you're like, well, wait a minute. When men were trying to get with you, he ain't on my level. He don't make enough money. He ain't this, he ain't that. I want a partner, blah, blah, blah. And all a man really wants is a woman who is fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. A woman who is a nurturer. But our women want to turn that switch on and off depending upon how they like and feel about the man. So the challenge is always going to be for women to ask yourselves the question, why were we the most married group prior to 1965 at a rate of 85%? Why are women having to come to shows like mine? But where are the women talking to you guys? Where are you guys talking to each other in public to get this shit under control? Because it's not happening fast enough.
I think women are.
Because look at our population has been at 13% for my lifetime. We're not even making replacement rate. We're not even making enough kids. Our marriages in the Black community last 5 years on average. And you know, at a 75% divorce rate, our women are filing divorce about 80% of the time. It's not the men.